the previous class we are starting the new topic, that is the Hall effect, and half part of this unit will is completed in the previous class, then half part is continuing here in the today's class. So in the next in the previous class we will see two diagrams. These two diagrams maintain at the means we are completing the topic, that is how can we differentiate the charge carriers if the positive charge collect near the right side. Okay, then Y is maintained at the positive potential, means Y collects the positive charge, that's why Y is maintained at the Y is positive, or Y is at positive potential with respect to F. And if the charge carriers are negative, the right side of point Y maintains at the negative potential with respect to X. Okay, so by using this concept we can bifurcate what is which is the positive charge carriers or which is the negative charge carriers. Okay, after that, so these are the two potential plus and minus. X and Y maintains at the positive, Y maintains at the positive and X maintains at the negative. Here Y maintains as the negative potential, X maintains as the positive. So when the potential difference between this X and Y, means the potential difference between X and Y maintains further or stop further, then the accumulation of charge carriers. So accumulation of charge carriers are stops. There is no accumulation of charge carriers. So that's why in the steady state, the next voltage, that is the transverse potential difference, called the Hall voltage. The concept is the Hall voltage. Is nothing but the transverse potential difference called the Hall voltage is established between the X and Y. Okay, that means the potential difference between X and Y stop. There is a no accumulation of positive charge carriers or negative charge carriers. So in that case, the transverse potential difference is established, and this transverse potential difference is nothing but the Hall effect is established between the X and Y. Okay, so if Y is at higher potential, then if Y is at higher potential, if Y is at higher potential than X, okay, if Y is at higher potential than X, the charge carriers in the conductor are positive. The charge carriers in the conductor are positive. Okay, and if X is positive with respect to Y, they are negative. Okay, if Y is at higher potential, here in the first diagram, this is the positive charge carrier. Okay, means we are concluding in the previous class, this is the positive charge carrier, this is the negative charge carrier conductors. Okay, so the next concept by using the Hall voltage is, if Y is at higher potential, if Y is at higher potential and with respect to X, X is at lower potential, then in that case we can confirm that the charge carriers in the conductor are positive. And if X has positive, and here if X has the higher potential than Y, here Y is at higher potential than X, then the charge carriers are positive. Okay, and if X is positive with respect to Y, that means X is maintained at the positive potential, then in that case we confirm that the charge carriers in the conductor are negative. And if X is at higher potential, that means positive potential, then Y, the charge carriers in conductor are negative. Okay, so thus the measurement of Hall voltage gives the information about the types of charge carriers. If we measure this Hall voltage between X and Y, if we measure this Hall voltage between X and Y terminals, that is if Y is a higher potential than X, then we can conclude that this this conductor is the positive charge carrier. Okay, and if y is at negative, means negative potential means is nothing but the lower potential. If y is at lower potential and x is at higher potential, then we can confirm that this charge carrier is negative charge carriers. So by using this Hall voltage gives the information about the types of charge carriers, and experiments show that many metals such as many metals such as copper, gold, silver, lithium, sodium have the negative charge carriers. For example, copper, gold, silver, lithium and sodium are negative charge carriers, and examples are, for example, zinc and cadmium, cobalt, are positive charge carrier. Okay, so by using this Hall voltage, we can confirm that this Hall voltage gives the measurement of types of charge carriers, and experiments show that many metals such as copper, gold, silver, lithium and sodium are negative charge carriers, and zinc, cadmium, cobalt are positive charge carriers. Okay, the next, if E suffix H, if EH is the strength of electric field, E suffix H is the strength of electric field produced by the Hall voltage, the force on the charge carriers has a magnitude of, then the force on charge carriers is small e and capital EH. So this is the force on the charge carrier by the Hall voltage. So in the steady state, so this must be deflecting force acting sideways, that, so this is nothing but the force, and this in the previous class we are already calculated the force. So this both the force are in the same, that is the in the steady state this must be deflecting force acting on the charge carriers. So that means this EH is nothing but the EVDB. Okay, this is also the same. So the drift velocity can be calculated as the, by using current density. So this drift velocity Vd is related to current density, that is the J. By the equation, this J is equals to current density J is nothing but the NEVD, and from by this using this equation we can calculate Vd is equals to, therefore this Vd is equals to NE by J, sorry, J by NE. So this Vd is equals to J by NE. So this is the drift velocity. So where N is the number of charge carriers per unit volume. Here N is nothing but the number of charge carriers per unit volume. So by using this equation we can calculate the drift velocity Vd. Then again we know that from this equation if we cancel this EE we get EH is equals to Vd into B. Okay, and we have the value, this Vd is equals to, so put this value EH is equals to J by NE into B. Okay, so therefore this EH is equals to this 1 by this term. Here the 1 by NE is nothing but the here RH J into B, since where RH is equals to 1 by NE, we are putting here RH into JB. So this is the number equation, that is we are not giving equation number. So this is the first, second, sorry, this is the second number equation. So we write here third number equation. Okay, and this RH, the R suffix H is nothing but the Hall coefficient. This RH is nothing but the Hall coefficient. So by using these formulas we can calculate the Hall coefficient. RH is nothing but the 1 by NE. N is the number of charge carriers per unit volume. E is the charge on electrons. The density of the charge carriers can be calculated, that is this J is equals to, here J is equals to LEVD. However, the experimentally observed quantities are the Hall voltage and the current I through the sample. So this is about the Hall effect. In the next class we will continue the topic. Thank you.